I'm excited for folks to see the performances. Both of the actors that they know and they're familiar with, but also we have so many new actors that are in the film.
Wakanda Forever has massive shoes to fill after the success of the first Black Panther film. They had to overcome challenges like not knowing how to swim, difficult costume designs, intense choreography, and of course, the loss of one of the most beloved characters.
Altogether, we ended up using those feelings to create something really special.
Number 1. Tenoch Huerta admits he didn't know how to swim. He definitely needed some swimming lessons before taking on his role of Namor. One of the most important things about his character is natural swimming ability. When the director Ryan Coogler offered Tenoch the role, he just sort of omitted that he couldn't swim. I replied that I had never drowned and went back to my managers. We just say yes and then go see what's up. The actor ended up doing 8 months of swimming lessons, which is definitely apparent on screen. Number 2. This cast is truly like a little family. When talking about Ryan Coogler's directing process, nobody ever actually felt directed or instructed.
I feel like we're together, like in the kitchen, cooking up the thing.
It was a very collaborative process, and everyone got to have a say into what their characters' motivations were. It gave everyone a sense of ownership over the creation of their characters.
And it also allows you to come in and say, but I think I see da-da-da, and what about this and this and this?
Number 3. Let's talk about one of the most dreaded costume pieces. Tenoch Huerta obviously spent a lot of time in the water showing off his newfound swimming skills. But what came with that were a pair of really tiny swim shorts.
What are they? Are they Speedos? they're little shorts. Yeah.
They inevitably developed the name of shame shorts.
Honestly, I can't recommend this for Halloween because it's frozen out there.
Number 4. One of the most important factors in the movie. The film's Talocan cast includes Mexican actor Mabel Cadena, who plays Namor's cousin, and Venezuelan actor Alex Livinalli as the warrior Atuma. Tenoch Huerta even learned the Mayan language. Mabel Cadena was positively overwhelmed by the indigenous representation this movie fought for. To me, it's crazy because I can find in the movie the little things from my Mexican culture. Number 5. Some of the most intense underwater training imaginable. The actors spent 8 hours filming a day in a large water tank. They trained with Colombian national record holder Alex Llinas, an instructor with Freediving Instructors International. Alex Livinalli explained, "We trained for months. The first time I was there for like 30 seconds, but as the time went on, I was there for like 3 minutes relaxing." Number 6. Letitia Wright had a special bond with Chadwick Boseman. Letitia was Chadwick's favorite actor to work with, so Ryan Coogler knew that in order to honor him, it would be important to elevate her character. One of the things Ryan took note of was Chad's smile. Off camera, as himself, his smile was huge, like a Cheshire cat. But when he was on screen, his demeanor was a lot more serious.
She was the only actor who would get him to smile as Chad on set. I was like, oh man, he broke character.
Number 7. Intense action movies can make for some pretty scary stunt work. Letitia Wright suffered a pretty severe injury involving a motorcycle. It sent her to the hospital with a fractured shoulder and a concussion. She was shooting a chase scene that put her on a biscuit rig, which allowed the camera to shoot her while riding in a real environment. The rig ended up clipping a median and it shifted the bike off, causing it to take a pretty severe tumble with Letitia still on it. She told Variety, "I'm still processing it. I'm still working through it in therapy. It was really traumatic." Production had to be paused for 2 months while she recovered. Number 8. Not the most common thing to design. Costume designer Ruth E. Carter had to do extensive tests on the costumes designed for the movie in order to make sure they would hold up and retain form underwater. The team had never worked with underwater costumes before, so this posed a whole new set of challenges. For the water scenes, we had a 20-foot tank in which we did tests. Divers went down in the water, and I had to put them in costumes that included headdresses and capes, just to see what those costumes would do in the water. And I ended up putting weights in. Number 9. Did you notice Shuri's Adidas? They were actually hollow and made from a new 4D technology the company is launching soon. At first, they only sent them one sneaker, but they ended up convincing Adidas to create enough shoes for the motorcycle stunt. When you go outside of our industry, they're going, what do you mean you need 2? 2? We need 2. We need 10. Number 10. Rewriting a script without your main character is no easy task. The script for Wakanda Forever was already completed when Chadwick Boseman passed away. So, unfortunately, they were forced to create a totally different story. Ryan Coogler thanks his phenomenal team when it came to recreating the story in honor of Chad. When making the first film, the bond they developed was really that of a family, so Ryan knew exactly how to write everyone's motivations and voices.
I had a good idea of what folks would be willing to do and not willing to do. These are all very strong-minded people.
When it came down to it, he really just wanted to honor Chad as well as keeping the integrity of the film.
There was a journey of grief and loss that we were navigating as we did this to honor our brother.
Number 11. The music in this film speaks volumes. The task was to find an artist that could meet them thematically where the film was at. Enter Rihanna. Ryan thought that because Rihanna had recently become a mother, she would actually be more inclined to create a track for the film.
Motherhood is a massive theme and motif in this film, and it was incredible that it timed out.
Multiple people from all over the world contributed to this song, including Thames, an artist from Nigeria.
Rihanna put her touch on it, and we finally heard it. I was moved, and then she said, "Yo, I did it for Chad."
Number 12. The crew really did their research. The Wakandans wearing white to King T'Challa's funeral is based on Ghanaian tradition. When designing the hundreds of funeral costumes, Ruth E. Carter ended up taking inspiration from several cultures throughout Africa to create a unique identity for each Wakandan tribe. You could actually identify all the tribes, even though they were all in white, but the white unified them in tribute to the ascension of Chadwick Boseman. Number 13. There are only a few things Ryan Coogler shares. In the early versions of the script, before Chadwick Boseman's passing, King T'Challa was in mourning for the time he lost between Avengers Infinity War and Avengers Endgame. One of the big themes in the script was grief, which is still a huge theme of the current film, but in a different way. Ryan Coogler talked to Inverse about his thought process. The character was going to be grieving the loss of time. You know, coming back after being gone for 5 years. As a man with so much responsibility to so many, coming back after a forced 5-year absence, that's what the film was tackling. Number 14. The water posed a major challenge for this cast. Most of the cast was not comfortable in the water. Ryan Coogler explains this fear of water as one of the impositions of Black culture.
A lot of us were raised to have fear of water. You know, I myself had the same thing going on.
Most everyone in the cast, including Ryan, had to learn how to swim or at least improve their swimming skills. Lupita Nyong'o actually took it upon herself to train by holding her breath underwater and carrying heavy weights. She would send Ryan videos of her workouts on her days off. Let's just say Coogler was shocked and impressed. Nothing we'd asked her to do, by the way. We were like, what is this lady doing? She was so intent on being believably comfortable in the water. She wanted to be as much of an expert as possible. Number 15. This was the fault of scheduling conflicts. Daniel Kaluuya had to miss out on being in Wakanda Forever because of his commitment to Jordan Peele's movie, Nope. He ended up having to keep it a major secret because he didn't want there to be any spoilers. He also wanted to protect fans from disappointment. In this film dedicated to Chadwick Boseman, the cast and crew did not disappoint when honoring his legacy, overcoming production challenges, and learning dangerous new skills to bring Wakanda Forever to life. What was your favorite behind-the-scenes moment?